Chapter 6. Little Sunshine. Once upon a time there lived a man and a woman in a little hut on the border of a wood. They tended their cow and horse and worked in the fields and were busy from morning till night. There were other people living near them who also worked in the fields, but no one had ever dared to go into the forest, not even to chop wood. There were no paths, the trees had grown together like a wall, and it was very dark to look at. After a while, a little girl was born to the woman and the man. She was the most wonderful baby, and she grew into the most wonderful little girl, all dimples and smiles and love. Whoever looked at her became happy at once, and people came from miles around to see her smile or touch her fingers. And they named her Little Sunshine. The mother taught her to bake and sew and spin, so she might be industrious as well as loving. She could work in the fields, too, but whatever bit of work she started, it was finished before she could as much as turn around, or else someone would come and help Little Sunshine complete it. "This will never do," said her mother one day. "Little Sunshine must learn to work alone, or she will grow up a lazy girl. Take this, my child," she said, as she gave Little Sunshine a snarl of flax nearly as large as she was, "and do go to your own room alone to spin it." So Little Sunshine laughed merrily and took the flax into her own room and shut the door fast. Whir, whir, went her spinning wheel, whir, but the flax seemed to untangle itself and soon lay in smooth coils of thread upon the floor. Just as it was finished, Little Sunshine heard squeak, squeak, and a grey mouse scuttled from a hole in the chimney corner and perched himself upon her distaff. "What do you want, mouse?" asked Little Sunshine. "Something good to eat," squeaked the mouse. "Why, I don't believe I have a thing for you," said Little Sunshine, "unless you like this," and she offered the mouse a bit of the fat with which she greased her wheel. The mouse nibbled away gratefully, but, all at once, Little Sunshine heard a rap at the door, and a gruff voice called out, "Let me in, let me in." She hastened to open the door, and who should walk in but a great, grisly, brown bear, so tall and fierce that he seemed to fill the whole room. "I have come to play blind man's buff with you, Little Sunshine," said the bear. Poor Little Sunshine! She was too much afraid to speak, but the grey mouse whispered in her ear, "Do not be afraid, I will help you, Little Sunshine." So, Little Sunshine tied her apron about the bear's eyes to blind him. While she was counting 1, 2, 3, the mouse blew out the fire, so that it was quite dark, and he hung a little string of bells about his neck. He motioned to Little Sunshine to hide in the farthest corner of the room, and then he began dancing about, shaking his bells, while the bear ran after him. This way and that went the nimble mouse, under the chairs, on the top of the spinning wheel, over the table, and the clumsy bear could not put a paw on him. It grew to be night, but still they were playing their queer game. "I will catch you yet, Little Sunshine," said the bear, but the mouse only shook his bells the louder and ran faster. At last the bear grew quite dizzy with so much twisting and turning about, and just as the first daylight came in through the windows, he pulled the bandage from his eyes and cried out, "Enough, enough, Little Sunshine, you are a better player than I." The mouse ran up the chimney, and Little Sunshine came laughing out of the corner and sat down at her spinning wheel again. The bear looked at her sunny little face, all smiles and dimples, and he said, "Will you pull me out of my skin, Little Sunshine?" "Oh, I could never do that," said Little Sunshine. "Just try," said the bear, holding out his paw. Little Sunshine pulled, and pulled, and pulled, and off fell the bearskin, and there stood a splendid prince smiling down at her. "You are to come home with me," said the prince, "and live in my palace always." So, Little Sunshine said goodbye to her father and mother, and the prince gave them 12 wagon loads of grain and 12 horses, that they might not feel too bad at losing her. The thick, Dark forest opened wide into paths to let the prince and little Sunshine through, and she went away to be the Princess Sunshine. The first thing she did was to decree that all the tabby cats in her kingdom should wear little strings of bells about their necks when they played blind man's buff with the mice. And every morning she rode through the streets in her gold chariot, that she might show her sunny face to all her subjects and turn their work into play. New words: tended, kept and took care. Industrious, hardworking. Snarl, clutter merrily, happily flax, a type of plant, the fiber of which is used for textile. Untangle, fix. Coils, rolls. Scuttled, moved around, quickly perched, sat at the top of something. Distaff, a stick or spindle used for spinning. Squeaked, said in a sharp voice. Nibbled, cut with teeth and ate. Rap, a light sound. Gruff, rude. Hastened, hurried. Fierce, dangerous. Whispered, talk in a soft or quiet voice. Apron, a clothing used while cooking. Farthest, extreme. Nimble, quick. Paw, animal's limb. Queer, odd. Dizzy, confused. Bandage, covering for wound, here it means the cloth which covered the bear's eyes. Decree, announce. Chariot, a horse-driven carriage. Understanding the lesson. A. State if the following sentences are true or false. 1. The man and a woman lived in a little hut near the river. 2. There were no paths to the forest and the trees had grown together like a wall. 3. The mother taught little Sunshine to bake, sew and spin. 4. People came from miles around to see the little girl's smile. 5. Little Sunshine must learn to work alone, or she will grow up a lazy girl, said the man. B. Complete the sentences with words from the lesson. 1. Little Sunshine laughed and took the flax into her own room. 2. Every morning she rode through the streets in her gold. 3. Little Sunshine tied her apron about the bear's eyes to him. 4. She offered the mouse a bit of the fat with which she greased her. 5. The prince gave them 12 wagon loads of grain and 12. C. Put a tick on the correct option to complete the sentences. 1. There were other people living near them who worked in the A. Farm, B. Fields, C. Hut, D. Village. 2. The little girl was the most baby. A. Wonderful, B. Beautiful, C. Cute, D. Amazing. 3. The mother wanted little Sunshine to be A. Lazy, B. Busy, C. Industrious, D. Sturdy. 4. The mouse asked little Sunshine to give him something to A. Do, B. Eat, C. Play, D. Work. 5. Little Sunshine tied her apron about the bear's eyes to A. Blind him, B. Tease him, C. Catch him, D. Move him. D. Answer the following questions. 1. What work did the man and woman do to keep themselves busy? 2. Why did nobody dare to chop wood from that forest? 3. Why was the little baby named Little Sunshine? 4. What did Little Sunshine's mother teach her? 5. Who was the bear in reality? Vocabulary zone. There are many words which can be formed by joining two different words. Like, any plus more is equal to any more. Every plus day is equal to every day. Break plus fast is equal to breakfast. A few words are given below. Break them and make into 2 words. 1. Birthday. 2. Afternoon. 3. Useless. 4. Everything. 5. Chairman. 6. Skillful. 7. Dragonfly. 8. Sometime. 9. Raindrops. 10. Jobless. Grammar fun. Because, so. Read the sentences. Sunil worked all night. Sunil was tired. Sunil worked all night. Sunil was tired. We use because to give a reason. We use so to show a result. Sunil was tired because he worked all night. Sunil worked all night, so he was tired. Why was he tired? Sunil worked all night, so what happened? Because he worked all night. He was tired. A. Write because or so to complete the sentences. 1. It was cold. I shut the window. 2. The door was open. I closed it. 3. She doesn't like him. He isn't honest. 4. It was raining. I took a taxi. 5. The water wasn't clean. We didn't swim. 6. We didn't swim. The water wasn't clean. 7. I'll be home late tonight. I have to work late. 8. I'm tired today. I couldn't sleep last night. B. Join the sentences by using either, because, or, so. Look at the example first. It was cold. I shut the window. It was cold, so I shut the window. 1. I closed the window. It was cold. 2. We walked home. There were no more buses. 3. She quit her job. She is looking for a new one now. 4. I'm tired today. I couldn't sleep last night. 5. I'll be home late tonight. I have to work late. 6. We didn't swim. The water wasn't clean. 7. The water wasn't clean. We didn't swim. 8. It was raining. I took a taxi. Listening time. Your teacher will read out this passage. Listen to him carefully and then answer the questions that follow. The fish hawk, or osprey, is not as large as the eagle, but it has like the eagle a hooked bill and sharp claws. Its color is dark brown with black and white spots, and its length is from 20 to 22 inches. Its breast is mostly white. Its tail and wings are long. The fish hawk is often found sitting upon a tree over a pond, or lake, or river. It is also found by the seaside. It watches the fish as they swim in the water beneath it, then it darts down suddenly and catches one of them. When it catches a fish in its sharp, rough claws, it carries it off to eat, and as it flies away with it for its dinner, an eagle sometimes meets it. The eagle flies at the fish hawk fiercely with its sharp bill and claws and compels the hawk to drop the fish. Then the eagle catches the fish as it falls, before it reaches the ground, and carries it off. The poor fish hawk, with a loud cry, timidly flies away. It must go again to the water and catch another fish for its dinner. Thus, you see that the eagle is a robber. It robs fish hawks, whose only mode of getting a living is by catching fish. 1. Where do fish hawks live? 2. Why does the fish hawk let the eagle take its fish? 3. How are fish, hawks and eagle alike? 4. Why do you think fish hawks live where they do? Speak well. Listen to your teacher as she talks about Mother Teresa. Use the internet to do research on a famous person. Find out as much information as you can. Then, pretend you are that person and introduce yourself to other students in the class. Introduce yourself to 3 other people in your class, including information on your nationality, family, school, work and hobbies. Write well. United we stand, divided we fall. A single hand has a limited capacity, but more hands working together will have much more strength to apply on a particular thing at the same time. So, we should be united in all our missions of life. With the help of the picture, write a short paragraph on the topic, Unity is Strength. The snake. When after days of rain, the sun appears, the snake emerges, green gold on the grass. Kept in so long, he basks for hours, soaks up the hot bright sun. Knowing how shy he is of me, I walk a gentle pace, letting him doze in peace. But to the snake, earthbound, each step must sound like thunder. He glides away, goes underground. I've known him for some years, a harmless green grass snake who, when he sees me on the path, uncoils and disappears. By Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond is an Indian writer of English origin who has played a very important role in the growth of children's literature in India. In this poem, the speaker talks about a snake that has come out to enjoy the sun after days of rain. As the snake lies sleeping on the grass, the speaker tries to walk past without causing a disturbance. But the snake hears the footfall of the speaker and immediately uncoils and disappears. The way in which the speaker narrates the incident reveals that he knows the snake and it knows him too. New words. Basks, enjoys lying in the heat or light, especially that of the sun. Pace, speed at which someone or something walks, runs or moves. Doze, sleep lightly for a short time. Earthbound, unable to move away from the surface of the earth. Glides, moves smoothly or quietly. Uncoils, becomes straight after having been wound or twisted round in a circular shape. Poetry appreciation. A. Answer the following questions. 1. Green gold on the grass. A. What is green gold on the grass? B. Why is it described so? 2. Kept in so long, he basks for hours, soaks up the hot bright sun. A. Why was the snake kept in so long? B. Does the snake enjoy lying in the sun? How do you know? 3. Knowing how shy he is of me. A. Why does the speaker say the snake is shy of him, huh? B. How does the speaker know this? 4. I walk a gentle pace. A. What is the snake doing when the speaker notices it? B. Why does the speaker walk at a slow pace? 5. Who, when he sees me on the path, uncoils and disappears. A. Why does the snake uncoil and disappear? B. How does the snake recognize the speaker's presence? B. Pick out words from the poem that mean the same as these. 1. To come out of a dark, confined or hidden place. 2. Enjoys lying in the heat of the sun. 3. Doing something in a quiet and careful way. 4. A loud crashing noise. 5. Unlikely to cause damage or harm.